Yes, Jai Hind and hello everyone. Welcome back to Crack Grade B. This is Sunil Jangid, and in today's lecture we shall cover some of the concepts and practice as well regarding chapter 10s, right? So you just comment our audio and video clear. Is everything okay? And kindly share this session with all your friends. Invite them all, and this session is going to be on the one of the most important chapter, you can say, and the chapter name is tense, right? And as I said ki we shall cover concepts as well as some of the practice questions, right? So you know about tense, ki what are the tense, and what it does or how it does, and different type of states you know very well. And in last session I told you about different four states, and the states were like indefinite, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous, and I told you about their applications as well. So in today's lecture I'm going to teach you some of the practice questions, and the main motto of this class is to just cover everything like practice plus concepts as well. So we don't need to just focus on the chapter in depth and detail. I will cover your concepts with the help of practice questions. Okay, so let us move to the our session. Our first sentence, you can say. So first sentence is, CV Raman was one of the greatest sons of India who has earned everlasting fame for scientific researchers. Yes, tell me ki which part has an error and what do you think of this sentence? You have a sentence before you. Sentence is, CV Raman was one of the greatest sons of India who has earned everlasting fame for scientific researchers. Yes, okay, you know, in this concept, in this sentence, the main concept is what? As we know ki this word one of is always demands a plural noun, so this sons is a plural noun. Okay, so after that this word relative pronoun, this is relative pronoun who, and relative pronoun demands a verb according to its antecedent subject, right? So the main concept is, make it sure if the first clause is in past tense. One of the important concepts, you can say, if the first clause is in past tense, all other clauses will also be in the past tense. The concept is, if the first clause is in past tense, remaining clauses will also be in the past tense. You know, this word was is in past tense, this is past tense, right? So accordingly you have to maintain the similar tense, means past tense, in the next clauses. Okay, but in this clause we know has earned, this has earned is present perfect, right? But we need it past, so that's why replace this verb has with had. So sentence will be CV Raman was one of the greatest sons of India who had earned everlasting fame for scientific research. This one will be the concept, and you can just make it clear, you can write it down. Okay, the concept is, if the first clause if the first clause is in past tense, if the first clause is in past tense, all other clauses all other clauses will also be in the past tense. All other clauses will also be in the past tense, except universal fact and proverbs. Except universal facts and proverbs. As you know ki all universal facts and proverbs, they demand simple present tense, present indefinite tense. So if the first clause is in past tense, remaining clauses will also be in the past tense. Okay, you come to know both the things, like practice questions as well concept. Okay, move to the next sentence. How long you are in this profession? Yes, Okay, in this sentence, you know this word how long, it always make a question about, you can say, point or period. It always question a point or a period, right? So whenever we talk about point or period, we always use a perfect continuous tense. We use perfect continuous tense. Whenever it comes to point or period, we use perfect continuous tense, and this perfect continuous will be of either present or past. It will be of present or past perfect continuous. So if you just put question, so in present perfect continuous, sentence will be, helping verb will be what? Helping verb has, have, been plus first form ing. Has, have, been plus first form ing. This verb is used. This one is the helping verb and this one is the main verb. You have to use this particular helping verbs and main verb. So if you just want to improve the sentence will be like, how long have, this is the helping verb, have you been? How long have you been? And if verb be is there, then it will be perfect tense. How long have you been in this profession? Sentence will be like this, and you have an error in part B. You know why I'm not making it perfect continuous? In place of perfect continuous, I'm using perfect tense in this sentence. The reason is behind ki, in this sentence you have a stative verb, you have a non-progressive verb, non-action verb. Be is always a stative verb, non-progressive, non-action verb, and these verbs, stative verbs, are not used in the continuous tense. That's why we are going to make it like, how long have you been in this profession? Sentence will be fine, and you have error in part B. Okay, let us move to the next sentence. Sentence is, if I was you, I would not go to film in the mother's absence. Okay, make it sure, if you get words like if, I wish, or he wishes, if I wish or he wishes, make it sure these words make a sentence unreal or imaginary, right? If you use a word like if, I wish, or he wishes, so it means these sentences are unreal sentences, imaginary sentences. And in semi-closed condition, we use past indefinite tense, and this past indefinite must be, you have to use a plural verb. This plural will be verb, were. Sentence will be like, if I were you, I would not go to film in my mother's absence. And make it sure, we, in conditional sentences, we use a semi-closed condition. Semi-closed condition. And semi-closed condition is what? We use a conditional word if, and after this clause, we use a clause, first clause, and this one is the second clause. In the first clause, we use past indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, right? And in the second clause, we use would plus v1, would plus v1. And make it sure these sentences are used to describe such sentences which are improbable to happen, which are improbable to happen. To talk about such sentences, we use this semi-closed condition. This sentence is derived from the conditional sentences. You know a chapter that is conditional sentences, and from that particular chapter, this is the semi-closed condition. One is past indefinite tense. After this, if clause, in if clause we use past indefinite, and in the main clause we use would plus v1. And in place of would, could or might can also be there. Could or might can also be there as per requirement. So same thing happens here. If I were you, I would not go to film in my mother's absence, and error is in part A. And the Rushab is saying this is hypothetical sentence. Yes, you are right, Rushab. Okay, next sentence is, I hope that the train will arrive on time, but it did not. But it did not. Okay, same thing. I hope that the train will arrive. but it did not come. Okay, same thing is here. If the first clause is in the past tense, if the first clause is in the past tense, rest clauses will also be in the past tense. So use would in place of will. In the first sentence I told you of this concept, and the concept is what? If the first clause is in past tense, remaining clauses will also be in the past tense. So that's why this verb hopped is second form, this is past tense, so it will also be in the past tense, right? And again you are getting this is also in past tense, so sentence will be okay. And now you have an error in part B. B is the right answer. Okay, let us move. He told the boys that if they worked hard they will surely pass. Okay, same thing if you just apply. Okay, in this sentence, you know, this sentence is in reported speech. This is not reported. You can say this sentence is in indirect speech. This sentence is in indirect speech, right? And indirect speech, what it happens whenever indirect speech, if you have an interrogative sentence and if you just replace this direct speech into indirect speech, in that particular situation we use a conjunction if. So this word if is a conjunction, right? And if you just maintain tense, this is past tense. Told, worked, this is also past tense, right? And he told the boys that if they worked hard, so if all the clauses are in past tense, this clause will also be in the past tense. Use would in place of will. In place of will, would will be there, right? So sentence will be fine now. And you have an error in part C. Error is in part C. Okay, so move to the next sentence. Although we reached his house on time, he was left for the airport. Okay, although this conjunction, although conjunction you have, and this sentence is in past tense. Although we reached his house on time. Okay, this sentence is in active voice. He is the doer. He is the doer. So who left? Who left? He left. So if this subject is doer, this sentence will be in active voice. And in active voice, we have to use past perfect tense. Sentence will be like he had left for the airport. He had left for the airport. And you know what is the concept in this sentence? Make it sure. Just a minute. Okay. Suppose this is the timeline. Okay. This is the timeline. And if I just say, if I speak like this, this is a point and this is point, you can say this is TS. TS denotes to what? Time of speaking. TS represents what? Time of speaking, right? So this is present point, right? Present time. And before this point, this entire timeline denotes to past. This is past, and after this point of time it will be future. So now we are talking about past. We are talking about past. Just suppose two actions. If two actions happen in past tense, this is the TS, time of speaking. Before this present time, this entire denotes to past. Okay, this is the first action and this is the second action, right? And make it sure this second action, it is nearer to the present, or you can say this second movement is backward from the present. And whenever we talk about backward from the present, this this movement will demand, you can say, past indefinite tense. This action will comes in under past indefinite tense, and this first action is backward from the past. This first movement is backward from the past, and backward from the past always denotes to the past of the past, or you can say late past, or you can say earlier past. This first point is backward from the past. So backward from the past means past of the past, late past, earlier past, right? So this movement always demand past perfect tense. So the mainly concept is, if two actions happen in past tense, the action which happens earlier comes under past perfect tense, and the action which happens later, this action happens later, and this action happens earlier. Which happens earlier comes under past perfect tense, and the action which happens later comes under past indefinite tense. So same thing if you apply the sentences, although we reached his house on time, okay, he had left for the airport, he had left for the airport, right? So it means कि the first action is to left for the airport, this happens earlier, and the action which happens earlier comes under past perfect tense. That's why I have used had left. And the action which happens later, it comes under past indefinite tense. And the another concept is also, if the first is in past, second will also be in the past tense. And now you have an error in part B. You have an error in part B. This is one of the most important concepts if you talk about chapter tenses, right? If two actions happen in past tense, the action which happens earlier comes under past indefinite tense, and the action which happens later uh, comes under past indefinite. Which happens earlier, past perfect, later, past indefinite. Okay, I courteously asked him where was he going, but he did not reply. Okay, again this clause is in past tense, right? This is also in past tense, this is also in past indefinite tense, right? And this, but he did not come, this is also in past indefinite tense, right? But make it sure you have a full stop in the last of a sentence, you have full stop. So this sentence is assertive. So assertive sentence, this is affirmative or assertive sentence you can say. And make it sure in assertive sentences, verb always comes after the subject, verb always comes after the subject. If you just apply this helping verb was after this subject he, if you just speak like, I courteously asked him where he was going, where he was going. If you speak like this, sentence will be fine. And now you have an error in part B. You know it very well. In assertive sentences, initially we use a subject, and after subject verb comes, right? So but in the sentence, verb is given before the subject, sentence is assertive, so you have to just maintain the place of verb in a sentence. And the first sentence is in past tense, second will also be in the past tense. Use this verb after subject, he was going, speak like this, error will be in part B. Okay, move to the next sentence. He has taken charge as principal of our college 3 years ago. Okay, we are talking about 3 years ago. This word ago, this word ago denotes to the past tense, or you can say ago denotes to what? Ago means backward from the present. What is the meaning of ago? Backward from the present. So whenever you go backward from the present, you reach in past tense. So drop, just replace has taken, replace this present perfect tense with past indefinite. So sentence will be like, he took charge, he took charge as principal of our college 3 years ago. And now you will find error will be in part A. And make it sure, apart from ago, so many words we have which demand past indefinite tense, like ago earlier, or you can say in past, any past year, 2020, 2010, 1947, 1857, right? Whatever, any past year. Or many of the words like long before, this word long before also denotes to the past tense. Or you can say last plus time word, last plus time word mean to say last month, last year, last century, last week, right? So all these words demand simple past or past indefinite tense, past indefinite tense. So same thing, if you just apply it in the sentence, you have a word ago, and this word demands past indefinite tense. So replace present perfect with past indefinite, error will be in part A. Okay, move to the next sentence. If you will work hard, you will always succeed. Okay, this sentence is from, you can say, open condition. This is open condition, conditional sentences, or you can say future conditional sentences, and make it sure in whenever it comes to future conditional sentence or open condition, two clauses cannot be in the future tense. Use subordinate clause is in present indefinite tense, and main clause is in future indefinite tense. So if you just apply, this is the subordinate conjunction, this is the subordinate conjunction, and after this subordinate conjunction you have subject and predicate, you have a clause, and this is the subordinate clause, subordinate clause, right? And make it sure in subordinate clause we always give condition, right? And again this subject and predicate, this subject and predicate, this is the main clause, and in main clause we always mention result, right? So what it happens कि both the clauses can't be in future indefinite tense, both subordinate and main clause, they can't be in future indefinite tense. We use present indefinite tense in the subordinate clause, present indefinite tense, and in main clause we use future indefinite tense. In main clause we use future indefinite tense. So in future indefinite you already have, in main clause you already have future indefinite tense, but to make it present indefinite, drop will work, and sentence will be like, if you work hard, you will always succeed. Sentence will be fine now, and you will have error in part A. You will have an error in part A. Are you getting my point? Yes. Are you getting all the concepts very well? Are you getting my words? Are you getting my point? Listen carefully. These are the sentences, and I'm telling you the concept as well, right, regarding all these sentences. And if you just cover 50 to 100 sentences by this method, you will be able to just go through the chapter, right? Because with the help of sentences we are learning concepts. And why I'm teaching you by this method, as I know it very well. If I teach tense entirely, so it will take at least 10 to 15 hours. It will take, yes, at least 10 to 15 hours to complete the chapter. So we don't have enough that much time right now. So that's why I'm just explaining all the concepts with the help of sentences, so that within 50 or 100 sentences we cover entire chapter, we cover the entire chapter. So that's why. Okay, she has been teaching dancing at the Victory since 5 days. Okay, you know this word since is a preposition of point. This is the preposition of point, and this word 5 years, 5 days, this word 5 days denotes to the period, right? So before the word of period, or before the time of period, we don't use a preposition since. It denotes to the point, and we have a preposition of period, and that is what? That is for. So replace since with for, right? So sentence, and make it sure whenever we use since or for plus time word, we use perfect continuous tense. And as we know, in perfect continuous, has been, have been, this one will be the helping verb, and this teaching will be the main verb. So sentence will be like, she has been teaching dancing at Victory for 5 days. And now you will have an error in part C. Error is in part C. Okay. Let's move to the next sentence. The flag is risen in the morning and taken down at night by the guards. Yes, what do you think of this sentence? What do you think of this sentence? This is also a nice sentence. You know, this sentence is all about, you can say, any past activity. This sentence is a past activity, and it is past routine of of the guards that they just rose the flag in the morning and taken down at night, right? You can consider ki an event was somewhere, an event was somewhere, and in that particular event, what the guards did, they just rose the flag in the morning and they just taken down it in the it at night. So it is past event, and to denote past event we don't use is mr, we use what was were. So sentence will be like the flag was risen in the morning and taken down at night. And why it is in passive voice? Why it is in passive voice? The reason behind this passive voice ki the subject flag is not doer, this is not doer, and when the subject is not doer, sentence will be in passive voice. Who is the doer? This word, this guards is doer here. So when the subject is not doer, sentence will be in passive and in passive voice. And if you are talking about any past event, we use in past indefinite voice, we use was were plus third form of the verb, main verb, right? So sentence will be like the flag was risen in the morning and taken down at night by the guards. Error is in part A. Okay, next one is, I have seen him going to the theater with his friends yesterday evening. Okay, this word yesterday evening, right? It denotes to past time. It denotes to past time. So use past indefinite tense and just say, I saw him. I saw him going to the theater with his friends yesterday evening. Replace present perfect with past indefinite and you will find an error in part A. Error is in part A. Okay, move to the next sentence. I did not know that you have left your handbag in our college, in our office when you came to see me last Friday. Okay, I did not know. You know, this sentence is in past tense. The entire sentence is in past tense, like this is past indefinite. Okay, this is also past indefinite, right? So this must also be in past tense, right? But it is present perfect. So replace present perfect with past perfect, or you can say don't replace it with past perfect, just drop left, use past indefinite left. Okay, sentence will be like, I did not know that you left your handbag in our office when you came to see me last Friday. And because of this last Friday, this is in past indefinite tense came, and because of this last Friday, this also is in past indefinite. Use left in place of present perfect, have left, past indefinite left will be there, and you will find your error is in part B. Okay, it is time we decide. Okay, this is the most important concept. Question number 17. Okay, whenever you get this phrase, make it sure this is the adverbial phrase. It is high time, it is high time, it is right time, it is exact time, adverbial phrase. And whenever you get a clause after this adverbial phrase, right, this phrase always demands past subjunctive mood, and this past subjunctive mood means second form of the main verb divided will be there. Sentence will be like, it is time we decided, sorry, not divided, we decided, it is time we decided not to play cricket for the next 2 years. And error is in part B. Make it sure this adverbial phrase is used to tell something that is urgent, to tell about any urgent situation. We use this subjunctive mood, past subjunctive mood, and this is the action which you did not do in the past, the activity which you have not done, which you did not do in the past. So because you did not do it in the past tense, that's why it has become urgent to do now it has become urgent to do. That's why to recall that particular activity which you did not do in the past, to recall that activity, we are talking in present, and now in present it becomes urgent for us, and to denote this urgent situation, this adverbial phrase is followed by a past subjunctive mode, मेन वर्ब, सेकंड फॉर्म ऑफ द मेन वर्ब, राइट. इस सेंटेंस का मतलब समझे, यही सही समय है वे हम डिसाइड कर लें नॉट टू प्ले cricket for the next 2 years. Mean to say, it is said many times in the past not to play cricket, but you did not pay attention to his or her voice, and because you did not pay attention in the past time, so that's why now it has become urgent to do for us, right? So sentence will be like, it is time we decided not to play cricket for the next 2 years. Rushabh is saying, if action already has been completed, then why can't we use had left in the 16th sentence? Okay, Rushabh, you know what is going on in the sentence? It is all about, you can say, this sentence is all about past actions. This sentence is all about past actions. And when we talk about past actions, and how can you decide this is past action? Because we are talking about last Friday. So whatever happened last Friday, we by denoting such actions, we are talking about past actions. Just for example, if I just ask you ki how did you celebrate, how did you enjoy your last Sunday, right? If I just ask you about your past routines or the actions which you did last Sunday, right? So how will you erect all the sentences? You will design all the sentences in past indefinite simple past tense. For example, if I try to explain how did I spend my last Sunday, all the sentences will be like, I got up at 8 a.m., right? I got refreshed, I took bath, and after that I took breakfast, then I went for coaching classes, I came back at 1 p.m, I took lunch, then I took rest for some time, and in the evening I played for some time, and I studied for 4 hours. At night I took my dinner at 10 p.m. and I went to bed, right? So you will design all the sentences in simple past. So this word last Friday, it is said last Friday, so it means the actions which you did. And what are the actions? I did not know. Last Friday I did not know that you left your handbag in our office when you came to see me last Friday. So these are past actions. That's why we use simple past, not past perfect. Okay. Okay, move to the next one. This is the concept of adverbial phrases. This adverbial phrase is used to talk such actions which are urgent, and the actions which you did not pay attention in past time, but to remember that particular inactivity, we are talking in present. And in present it becomes urgent for us to do. Okay, so now the sentence error is in part B. Move to the next sentence. If you will follow my instructions, you will definitely score high marks. As I said, this is the subordinate clause, future indefinite tense you have, and this is the main clause. This is also future indefinite tense. And make it sure in complex sentence we don't use both the clauses in past future indefinite tense. We use present indefinite in the subordinate clause and future indefinite in the main clause. So this subordinate clause will demand present indefinite, that's why drop will follow, first form of the verb will be there, and in future and in main clause this future indefinite will be. Okay, now this main clause is okay, but just replace present in future indefinite with present indefinite, and you have an error in part A. Okay, next sentence. I have met him on Monday last. Okay, this word Monday last, this is also, it also denotes to past time, and to denote past time we use past indefinite tense. So in past indefinite tense we use second form of the verb, drop have. Sentence will be, I met him on Monday last and had a long discussion. So error is in part A. Yes. Okay, by the time you arrive tomorrow, I have finished work. Okay, this is also an important concept. Make it sure whenever you get a phrase like by the time, if you get a phrase like by the time, and after this phrase you have two different clauses. This is the first clause, this is the second clause. Okay, so make it sure this preposition by, this is the preposition, and this preposition by denotes the sense of till. Till means it denotes the deadline, it denotes the deadline, or to denote deadline it demands perfect state, right? It demand perfect tense, it always demand perfect tense, and this perfect tense is always because of this preposition by, which shows the sense of till. Till means till any point of time, this sentence will be in deadline. To show deadline it demands perfect tense. So whenever you get by the time, we use perfect state in the second clause. In the second clause perfect tense will be there, but make it sure if the present, if there is a present indefinite tense, sorry, past indefinite, if you have past indefinite tense in the first clause, so second will also be in perfect, but this perfect must be of past perfect. So this is the concept, by the time, past indefinite, past perfect. Okay, but make it sure if you have this phrase like by the time, okay, again if you have such phrase by the time and two different clauses, you have two different clauses, because of this preposition we use perfect tense in the second clause. This perfect state will always be there. But if the first clause is in present indefinite tense, if first clause is in present indefinite tense, this perfect will be of future perfect, this perfect will be of future. So if you just apply by the time you arrive, this arrive is the present indefinite tense, so this clause will always be in future perfect. So make it future perfect, use will have finished, and now you have an error in part B. Now you have an error in part B. Both the concepts are very important. If you get by the time, after this phrase, if you get past indefinite, next second clause will also be in the past perfect. If after this phrase if you get present indefinite, this perfect will be of future perfect, right? So same thing here, arrive, present indefinite, future perfect, will have finished, error will be in part B. I hope you are getting my point. Okay, next, move to the next sentence. We have just known that he has left the city 2 days ago. We have just known that he has left the city 2 days ago. This 2 days ago, this word ago, it denotes to the past time, and to maintain past time we use past indefinite tense, and here just drop has, use left, right? We have just known that. It can be in present, this can be in present, but this ago is from the second clause, from this clause, so that's why you have to maintain past indefinite in this clause, and error is in part B. Okay, move to the next sentence. Before we had entered the room, they had telephoned him. Okay, this conjunction before, whenever you get this conjunction before, and before demands past perfect tense, if a clause, if you have a clause before it, and after before conjunction we use past indefinite. So to make it past indefinite, drop had. So sentence will be like, before we entered the room they had telephoned him, and you know why we use these two conjunctions, before or after? These conjunctions are used to talk about that past activities in which two different actions were there, and for one action was happened backward from the past and one was before backward from the present. The action which happens earlier comes under past perfect, and the action which happens later comes under past indefinite tense. For example, before we entered the room they had telephoned. This they had telephoned, it happens earlier, in past, right? And this happens later in past, and the action which happens earlier comes under past perfect tense, and the action which happens later comes under past indefinite tense. So this is the concept, and you have an error in part A. Error is in part A. Okay, let us move to the next sentence. When it became useless, we shall surely sell it. Okay, it is quite easy. This it is a singular subject. It demands present indefinite in the subordinate clause. And to make it present indefinite, this singular subject will demand a singular verb. Use becomes. When it becomes useless, and in main clause you have future indefinite tense. In main clause you have future indefinite tense. This is okay. But in subordinate clause we always use present indefinite. As you know, in open condition both the clauses can't be in the future tense. We have to use present indefinite in the subordinate clause, and in main clause we have to maintain future indefinite tense. So error is in part A. Okay, this sentence is pure proverb. This sentence is proverb, and as you know, all proverbs and universal facts, scientific facts, right? Universal facts, scientific facts, and proverbs. Proverb mean any dictum, axiom, or maxim, adage, or saying, you can say. All proverbs and universal fact, they demand present indefinite tense. You have to maintain present indefinite tense, right? So to make it present indefinite, drop will, and this a rolling stone, this is the singular subject, and in singular, with singular subjects, present indefinite tense, if you talk about, we use a singular verb, first form plus s or es. Sentence will be like, a rolling stone gathers no moss. A rolling stone gathers no moss. All universal facts and proverbs demand present indefinite tense, simple present tense, you can say. This is the concept. This is the concept. Okay, error is in part B. Okay, move to the next sentence. And the next sentence is, mother said to us, it is high time. Okay, again you have this adverbial phrase. Again you have this adverbial phrase. And as I said, if you find a clause after this adverbial phrase, it always demands past subjunctive mood. This is the subject and predicate. It always demands past subjunctive mood. So replace take with took. And as we know, this phrase is used to denote such actions which are urgent, right? In past, in which you did not pay attention in past, but now they have become urgent to do. Okay, they have become urgent for us to do. Okay, so sentence will be, it is high time you took some decision regarding your career, and you will find error in part B. Okay, again you have the sentence, it is the first time that we saw such an interesting movie. So error is in part C. Okay, move to the next sentence. It is appearing to me that you were never interested in it. Okay, here verb appearing is a stative verb. You know, do you know about this concept? If we talk about main verbs are of two types. Main verbs are of two types. One is action verb. And second one is stative verb. Right? Second one is stative verb. These are two types of verbs. Stative verb. Stative verbs are those which do not state physical state, mental state, possession, right? Possession, or you can say the verbs of senses, right? Physical, mental state, right? And these are called non-progressive verbs. These are called non-progressive verbs. These are non-action verbs, right? And these verbs are never used in ing form. These verbs are never used in ing form. So if you just apply, it is appearing, This verb appear is a stative verb. Stative verb can't be in future continuous tense. So in place of this present continuous, we have to replace it in present indefinite tense. And in present indefinite tense, sentence will be like, it appears. Singular verb will be there as we have a singular subject. Sentence will be like, it appears to me that you were never interested in it, and you have an error in part A. Error is in part A. Okay. Move to the next sentence. Everyone knew well why he is absent. So same thing, you know this concept very well. If the first clause is in past tense, rest clauses will also be in past tense. Replace is with was. Sentence will be like, everyone knew well why he was absent from the class, and error is in part B. Error is in part B. Okay. The man had started the journey again. After, this conjunction after demands past perfect tense in the clause which is given, which is followed by this conjunction. So this is had risen. Okay, this is okay. This is past perfect tense, and before this conjunction we use past indefinite tense. To make this clause in past indefinite tense, drop had, and this started will be in past indefinite. Sentences, the man started the journey again after the sun had risen. Sentence, in this sentence you have an error in part A. Okay, so move to the next sentence. We did not learn anything yet. This word yet, is an adverb. It shows the sense of so far, right? So far. And this word yet always demands completion, and present perfect tense it demands, and this present perfect must be in negative sense, right? So sentence will be like, we have not, third form will be what? Third form will be learnt. We have not learnt. We have not learnt anything yet from our failures. So error will be in part A. And what are the words which demand present perfect? You can just understand them. Words like yet, so far, just now, up to now, up till now, by now, lately, and recently. Lately and recently. All these words demand present perfect tense. These words demand present perfect tense. But this word yet, present perfect tense will be there, and the negative in present perfect tense. Negative of present perfect tense. If you talk about word yet. So now sentence is okay, error is in part A. So next sentence is, nobody could tell us how they have solved the puzzle. Okay, so the first clause is in past tense. Could is the past. This is used to show past ability. Could is the past of can, right? So if the first clause is in past tense, next clauses will also be in the past tense. So reply will be like, nobody could tell us how they had solved. So now this is two different actions. This happens before, this happens earlier, and the action which happens earlier comes under past perfect tense, and the action which happens later comes under past indefinite tense, and this could always demand first form of the verb, main verb. So now you have error in part B. Yes, are you getting my point? Yes, guys. Are you getting everything? Next sentence is, how long are you learning English for? Same thing is here. Same thing as I said. This word how long always question about either point or period. And whenever we talk about point or period, whenever we talk about point or period, we require perfect continuous state to denote imperfection with partial perfection. As I said, how long always ask about, you can say, ask point of time or period of time. So that's why we need perfect continuous tense in this particular sentence, present perfect continuous. So to make it present perfect continuous tense, replace are with have, because this you demand have. How long have you, and after that been will be there. How long have you been learning English for? How long have you been learning English for? So now sentence will be fine, and you have an error in part B, right? You have an error in part B. Okay, move to the next sentence. The teacher told the students that a bat, unlike other birds, had teeth. Okay, this sentence is in past tense. This is in past tense. So the normally the concept is what? If the first clause is in past tense, rest clauses will also be in the past tense. But I said except universal fact and proverbs. Make it sure this is past indefinite, but this clause, a bat unlike other birds have teeth, right? This is, you can say, this is, you can say, universal fact. This is the universal fact, and this universal fact or scientific fact or proverbs, all they demand present indefinite tense. So you have to maintain present indefinite tense, and to maintain present indefinite tense, all other birds replace had with have. First form of the verb will be there. Sentence will be like, the teacher told the students that a bat, unlike other birds, have teeth. Now the sentence will be fine. Okay, move to the next sentence. By the next Monday. Whenever you get by the next Monday and you have single clause, this is the single clause, this is the subject, this is the predicate. This word by shows the sense of till. This is the preposition. This is the phrase by the next Monday, and this till shows deadline, or you can say it demands perfection or completion. To denote completion or perfection, we use future perfect tense in the next clause, future perfect tense. So to make it future perfect tense, speak like, by the end of, by the next Monday, Ritik will have completed this book, no error. So you have error is in part B. Error is in part B. So are you getting my point? Yes, guys. Do a comment. Are you getting everything? This is the chapter tense, and as I said, we shall cover some of the practice questions with their concepts, right? So in the next class also we shall have another class like this, and we shall discuss some of the practice questions, and we shall cover their concepts also, right? So by this method I shall cover different important grammatical chapters. We have also covered some of the vocabulary, and you will have many classes regarding vocabulary, and we shall focus on comprehension part also, like fillers or parajumbles or RCs, like. Okay, so I think it's enough from my side. I just keep my finger crossed for you, and keep sharing these sessions with your friends. Invite them all, and subscribe Crack Grade B if you have not subscribed yet. So it's enough from my side. Take care. Bye bye. Love you all. Thank you very much.